Hey, what's going on everybody? Manta here with a EU4 Let's Play, not a complete one mind you, as Cannot, specifically. I'm going to be going for the Luck of the Irish achievement, and if you don't know what the Luck of the Irish achievement is, the way you get it is you have to, I believe, control the entire British Isles region as an Irish matter. Or as Ireland. I don't precisely know what the requirements are. Probably like Irish culture or something. And you start off with 4 of these. The red here is England, which controls the Dublin area and Meath. And you can play as any one of them if you want to. It's roughly the same. We have Don Shad and Turlo here, who have the same stats, so there's no conceivable difference between the two of them. Yeah, like literally there's no difference between the only, and then all the 4 of the Irish provinces you can see that are the OPMs here. Connaught has the lowest base tax, 2 base tax compared to a 4 on each of these. And then Meath here is, or no, Meath is a 6, I think. I'm pretty sure Meath is a 6. Whatever. Connaught has the lowest base tax, but at the same time, they also have probably the best leader. Out of starting leaders, we have, and we can see heirs too. Okay, so we have Cathal over here as the heir of Connaught, who is not very good. It's pretty average. Tyrone's heir is awful. Leinster doesn't have an heir. And Munster has a decentish heir, who's like 10 years old. So there's an argument for any of them. Personally, it doesn't matter to me. In some of my saved games, actually, I guess I wouldn't be on here because I don't have my computer, so I don't know why I loaded that up there. But anyway, we're gonna be doing Connaught. Because if I recall correctly, Connaught, although in real life it would be Munster, is the furthest west point in all of Europe. If you can't tell, it kind of cuts by Spain. So it's even further west than that. And playing as Connaught, you can sort of jump to Greenland, and then up into Canada, and establish colonies in the Caribbean. You can colonize pretty quickly and pretty early if you want. Do I want to? I don't know. But it's something to keep in mind. Anyway, let's get that out of the way. This is going to be Iron Man because I want the achievement. I may not get it. This may fail horribly. We have to play with historical Lucky Nations, which is terrible. It sucks. Lucky Nations are, like, the bonuses of Lucky Nations are just ridiculous. It's like coring costs and Diplo rep and discipline, force limits. It's just stupid. But whatever, you have to play with it. I like dynamic province names. I think they're fun. So I'm gonna go with that. Otherwise, things look good. So let's go ahead. Random New World would be kind of interesting. Maybe mix things up a little bit. I don't think colonial nations can form if you do that. So that might be something to try out. Maybe we should try that. That would make loading times really obnoxious, but it would allow me to sort of show off Random New World. Okay, so does that cover up all of the... No, it doesn't. Okay, let's try it. Let's try a Random New World playthrough. And obviously already went through. Alright, let's get going. In case you haven't noticed, I've tried this a few times before. Luck of... And I think I can do it. Who knows? Whatever. The problem with Iron Man is if I don't get something, if something doesn't record, if anything goes wrong, like anything, then, have to live with it. If some of the content's missing, I can't go back and, like, re-record it. So, let's cross our fingers that none of that happens. Here we get this nice picture of Isabella while we wait for the new world to generate. Oh, it was the cash sound. That tends to mean that, we're in the game. But yeah, this is gonna jack up loading times quite a bit. So, what's over here, we don't even know. Nobody knows. In fact, this could actually massively change the balance of power. Traditionally, powerful countries like Castile that usually colonize, like, the entire everything ever, may not take off. Same thing with Portugal, and colonization is going to be weird because they have, like, determined regions. And this is Terra Incognita. Is this a real... Yeah, this is the Azores. I think those are actual islands. I don't think any of the randomized stuff is coming up yet. Anyway, as you can see, we're Connaught. We start with 3 soldiers. Everybody in Ireland starts with 3 soldiers. Literally, it's so samey. You're not missing out on much of anything. If you pick any of them, it's not like it's a big deal. We're going to link these together. There's no reason to keep them separate. Protect trade in London. And speaking of, we should probably... Because in EU4, you automatically gain money from the trade node that your capitals, and our capital's Connaught, which is in London. There's not a real reason for us to have a merchant in London. So instead, let's redirect one of our merchants up to North Sea, which is like well, North Sea. It's Sea. Or I guess we wouldn't want to collect, we would want to be transferring. Transfer trade power from Niall, who's sitting in Bordeaux. Or no, he's sitting in London, sorry. Let's see. So, we start with the mission to save the Irish people. Bad idea. England, usually, especially I've noticed this in multiple nations, tends to get kind of trounced. But, and there is a very large exception here, they also start out with, wow, the largest army on the... Is that a new thing? Because they didn't used to have that many infantry. Whatever. One thing we could do... Protective attitude, really. Oh, they want to vassal me. Interesting. And all the Irish miners will start out rivaling you instantly. You can't ally within the peninsula. Not the peninsula. Within the island, so you're gonna have to deal with it. England, however, would probably ally. I don't really want them to ally. But they'd be a good one. I guess the problem here is if they ally with any of their OPMs. Right now we want an alliance with Scotland, who actually tends to do pretty well. As of patches, they used to just always flounder, but they've seen a pretty large improvement. So let's go ahead and improve relations with them. Pretty small right now. We can probably set like any. Yeah, we have 3 options for rivals. The other OPMs. Sounds fine. Oh yeah, and their navies are all stronger than ours. By default, they start with an extra ship. They start with an extra light ship, it looks like. Which just means they can take more money, which sucks, because we are already making less money. Munster, Tyrone. Alright, we do down. Do we have a mission? Nope. Well, day 1. Let's see. Is there one particular province I want first? one of the advantages about playing Connaught is that you can instantly fabricate a claim on any province in Ireland. You have a border on every single province, which no other county has. Well, they're not counties because they're too big, but whatever, we're ignoring that. As you can see here, 2 base tax, 4 base tax, 4 base tax, 4 base tax, and 5 base tax. I might move my capital to Meath. To Dublin. Yeah. Okay, so, let's see here. In the meantime, we have, like, 4 prestige. We get stability if we get up to 50, but I wouldn't count on that. Yeah, so saving the Irish people in Meath, it's probably not gonna happen for a long time. And one strategy I've actually heard of is leaving Meath, right? Leaving it here in Ireland, controlled by England, so that every time you go to war with England, you make your war goal to capture Meath. Sure, you fabricate claims in other English provinces, but your war goal is to capture Meath. And what you do is you occupy Meath every time, and then just let it sit there. And that's just easier than fabricating a claim on, say, Cornwall and leaving it every time. Now, one thing we could do is we could support France. France was going to win the 100 Years' War by default anyway, so there's not much we could do that would really matter there. We could invade Brittany at some point, which might piss off France, so there's something to consider not doing. For now, we'll ally with Scotland. Maybe later we can hope to get a PU with Scotland, not very likely. But, it might happen. What's most likely going to happen, though, is we're probably just going to invade them later on. So with that in mind, there's not really any reason at all to favor any of these provinces. They're all the same thing. I guess they're not. Ulster produces grain, these 2 produce fish. So, as a result, the production in the fish provinces is slightly higher. Let's go ahead and fabricate a claim on Leinster. Just to make sure England doesn't pull any tricks over here with it. And take a year, as they always do. Don't want any AE this early, that'd be unfortunate. We have a monthly income of nothing. Yay. And when he becomes of age, we're going to probably put our heir on an army and hope that he dies. He sucks. To me, he's like the worst thing ever, but he still sucks. Yeah. So, to the economy, for now, we should probably lower our army maintenance just so we can actually make some money. Like anything, really. The one thing we should probably actually be doing is privateer in London. We'll get her England. Maybe get a little bit of money out of the pirates. Although I'm not... I'm not sure how much that'll do for us. Especially since we're not rival to England, so... Whatever, let's just protect trade, is fine. Move it up to speed 3, because nothing's gonna happen until we get the claim out. And let's get going. So, what do we need in order to get the royal marriage? He currently doesn't have an heir on the throne, but their guy is 25, so it's not likely that he's going to die from there. Nice little improvement in Wealth of Nations. Now we can see the morale of our soldiers as yellow rather than green. We know that we're not funding them, so we don't go to war on an Iron Man save without funding our troops and have a huge disaster, which has happened many times over. Don't do it. It's happened to me, at least. And, hopefully at some point Orkney breaks free of Denmark, Norway breaks free of Denmark, so that Scotland here can take Orkney and we can have that. I don't know if that's counted within the British Isles or not. but we'll definitely want it. That would certainly be the case. And yeah, on to ideas. The Irish ideas are some of the worst in the game, as far as I'm concerned. Like the default national ideas are probably roughly as good. They have yearly Republican tradition for a monarchy. They have trade steering, which is not that impressive, really. I mean, yippee. Less land attrition, which could be potentially useful for preserving our manpower, but we're not going to be fighting in some high attrition provinces for what we need to do. The clans, which will give us better stability cost, which is actually good. That's actually reasonably good. There are better ideas that do the same thing, just more. There's like -15 stability cost modifiers and whatnot, which are a little bit more useful. Okay, we were discovered. Hopefully that doesn't happen, because now Scotland's probably a little bit, yeah, -11. And we can't get that marriage now. Not for a while, anyway. Not until that AE decays and we get some more relationship. Anyway, what was I even talking about? Well, this is silly. Oh, right, the ideas. Now this one's actually really good. So, this is -2 revolt risk, which can be pretty massive, especially in the late game when you have a large empire and you have a lot of revolt risk. Especially since our capital, right, is off on this island. It's a lot of shipping troops around. We might change it to London later on. Who knows? This -2 revolt risk also means higher taxes in higher revolt risk provinces. We have 10% tax modifier. Pretty good. I've seen 15s, I've seen 20s that are more impressive, but hey, 10's good enough for me. 2 Diplo rep, which is super not particularly impressive at all. A Diplo rep used to be pretty good. It is no longer, because it doesn't affect the speed in which you annex vassals anymore. +3 yearly papal influence could be pretty good. The problem is that Ireland is actually in a position where it usually gets the Reformation. It's pretty hard to fight the Protestants for a long time, and it's not like playing a Sunni where you can just bump your piety up and then eventually convert them. You have to probably invest in religious ideas if you want to ever deal with that. So, I'd like to use this, but geez, Protestant's so much better, and I don't know. We're probably going to go that anyway. And then this is interesting. It's a shame we get it so late on, but rebel support efficiency is going to mean that we can potentially, I'm not sure about this, there should be Irish culture, like, patriots here. We can support Irish patriots in Meath, and if England is too weak from the 100 Years' War to do anything about it, which they will be, then if Meath gets conquered and we're the only Irish country nearby, then it would seem to me that, oh hey, all of the Irish OPMs are allied. Well, these two. I guess I would go after these two. Because these two don't have an alliance, but these two both have an alliance with us. Yeah, we will need Scotland for this. Alright, Scotland. How about a date? What do you say? Alright. And they'll support an alliance too, so we just have to wait till October for that. We'll get our power projection up pretty high from conquering all these OPMs. It'll be problematic because of the alliances, though. And I don't know if Scotland will actually help me significantly. They don't have much of a navy. I find it odd that the OPMs ally with each other, because they should all start rivaled. We could actually ally England and then just win all these wars by default. You know, with a good general, or with a decent general, if I shouldn't have a problem beating 2 OPMs. It's twice my units. But if we hire some knights, it's the only cavalry on the entire island, because nobody has cavalry right now. If we have 5 units, our force limit is, what, 4? Yeah, 4. So if we have 5 units, we get 1 over our force limit. It's going to cost us money for a little while. But we'll be able to take on 6 units, and if we play defensive, all of Ireland is like swamp. No, just kidding, it's not. That's not correct. Most of Ireland's plains, which sucks, but, it's all rivers, right? So everybody's taking crossings, if they're gonna mess with us. Anyway. So how's the 100 Years of War going? You're losing at 17. That doesn't surprise me. Good news is England, our nemesis for this playthrough, basically, starts out with a 0-0-0 leader. That means they're going to suck. For like seriously, like spawning with a 0-0-0 leader will deter you for the rest of the game. Speaking of, we might as well. Oh, Munster's allied with Scotland. That's a problem. But if we call Scotland into a war against Leinster, we can attack Munster while Scotland's in that war, and then Scotland can't attack us. Leinster is allied with Tyrone, so it looks like we're gonna need a claim on all of the Irish OPMs for this. Which is fine. I have time to spare, I guess. Wow, monetary reforms. Awesome. I can't afford the admin for this. Well, political stability hit. 100 points. Yeah, whatever. Better than having losing like roughly the same amount of admin points, than having like an extra point of inflation waiting around. Let's go ahead and build our medieval infantry, which is 1400, so I guess it's kind of accurate. Any other allies I could potentially go for? Burgundy might be a good one. Yeah, I like that idea. Let's see if Burgundy. Let's hope against the Burgundian inheritance, because France would obviously be a great ally. Yeah. You know what? Why are we banking on Burgundy when there's France? I mean, it's always questionable to get in with France, but let's see if we can get in with Burgundy and France. Anyway, this is going to be the end of the first episode. I'll see you guys later.